Salute, MobTube. How is everybody tonight? Let's see who we get in here. Probably time to get a new camera. Nitro Owens, hello, how are you today? Tonight, sorry. Bobby Barbarian, DP, Gianni Catalano, Mickey Griggs. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Edward Everett, Jordan Canada, J Dog. What's up, guys? Pink Veal. I'm not bad, Nitro. I'm chilling. Steve Cutler. I went to the cigar shop today and I tried to get us in compromiso, right? I still hope I'm pronouncing that right. Well, they didn't have them. She said something about buying them wholesale, and I think she said I'd have to do it on Friday. I'm not sure what that means. I guess that's when they get them in. She didn't have them in stock though. I would have bought a box of them, whatever. But I can't find one. Then I went to another shop and nothing. So I wound up getting a Herrera Esteli and a Padron Natural. So I don't know what to do, Steve Cutler. I'm at a loss. Amateur historian. Look, I'm glad you caught it. Good for you. Good for me. Andrew Gray, Lisa Farrow. I'm not bad. I hope you're doing well. Uh, Carlos Muniz. Yeah, I'm having a cigar issue. I got the Herrera Esteli and my usual Padron, but no Sin Compromiso. Poor me. Go online and buy a fiver. We'll email you the link. Yes, please do that because I will. I'll buy them tonight. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Brooklyn Chris. I'm in the frame of mind lately, the way things have been going, that I don't really see the point in doing shows anymore. That's why I titled this "Let's Waste Some Time Together" because that's all I'm doing here. Um, but you know, I figured I'd come on and recap the day a little bit. It's kind of what I've been doing the last few nights. I don't know how much time I'll spend on here. We'll see how it goes. Della's my name, Johnny Sack. Salute. Um, I've definitely slowed it down, and I'm probably going to be slowing it down even more with the shows. I got some ideas, and I'm going to see if those things come through, and then if so, it'll be a little different. I'll do those shows when I can, but I don't know if I'll be coming on as much. But I figured you guys might want to talk about. Well, listen, I don't really know what all went on today. I know Tom did an interview with Sammy. I did watch that because somebody, when I was shaving and stuff, somebody emailed me and told me. So I listened to that interview. But I don't know of anything else. So you guys have to fill me in. Gianni Catalano, FBS. If you can ever find Foundation Cigars, the Tabernacle is a great Count Shade Maduro with Cuban seed. One of the best I've found lately. All right. Foundation Cigars, the Tabernacle. Yeah, I'll have to try to remember that. Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Tom Sheehy. Hello, my friend. Gianni Catalano. Pat Duffy. Yankees for life. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Um, Fair golfer. Formerly bad golfer. Joey Snatch first show featuring Bofa. Bathhouse JC and highlights going on now. Joey Snatch first show featuring Bofa. Oh, you mean Joey Ducks? JC meaning the Lee Cole douche guy? Is that how you mean? And highlight. Wow. The Endos. What's up, my friend? Fair golfer. Um, yeah, thanks for getting rid of the bots, Pink Veal. There's more. Yeah, I went to into fucks with Highlight, and they protected him. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know he was doing a show. So you want to talk about this interview today? Because I mean, I don't feel there's a lot to talk about, but I'll go over it with you guys. I was thinking about hearing Sammy say, "Oh, how much did Tom have to pay for that interview?" Well, that was my first thought, of course, and my guess would be between 2,500 and 5 grand. That would be my guess. Maybe a little less since he knows Ramona and Karen, but most likely between 2,500 and 5 Gs. Most likely. Um, but I was thinking about how Sammy said about John Gotti bringing down the mafia with his $5,000 or $2,000 suits and his $200 hand painted ties and all that. And that argument always kind of bothers me. I know that was not a good idea. John was very flashy and too flashy for his position, without a doubt. Too flashy to even be a mob guy because that draws all kind of obviously unwanted attention. Yeah, I've said that before. He considers himself one of the best, and I'm not saying this because I don't like Tom. Listen, I don't think I'm a good interviewer, but Tom, I don't think is either. I mean, I don't think he's good. If I had Sammy there would be a whole bunch of questions I would ask, and I try to ask questions that haven't been asked before. But look, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, the whole thing with John bringing down the mob. I mean, we could talk about that because I'll tell you what. Like I said, that argument kind of bothers me because the bottom line is, um, well, first of all, it was flawed to begin with. You know what I mean? The whole Castellano hit. Anything that happened after that hit with the Gambino family, anything would have been in the spotlight 24 hours a day, 365. If Frank DeChico would have became boss, same thing. They would have been all over him. You know what I mean? Now, did reporters and stuff say that John Gotti, when they saw like, the way he dresses and carries himself and the whole look and walk and everything else, that the public was going to want plenty of this guy? So that drew them to him more maybe than any other mob guy would have. Sure, the media, yeah. The FBI, no. The FBI, I think, don't get me wrong, they hated his guts because the way he kind of threw it in their faces who he was and what he was all about. And, he just did a lot of shit to piss them off, which obviously wasn't smart. But they would have been on um, anybody who took that position, considering that the Castellano hit took place, and it did. So if Frankie DeChico, John, if Sammy, anybody would have taken that position, they would have been a primary FBI target because they committed the hit of the murder of a boss, on a busy Manhattan street, Christmas time. It made headlines everywhere. And when something like that happens, um, law enforcement is under pressure. So now they got this flashy guy that comes along as boss after the Castellano hit, right? And he's got the expensive suits and, he looks the part and he's, you know, chauffeured around and, the whole city's in love with him. That absolutely made them want him more. But look at all the other things that started to take place. Rico wasn't that old at that time. So they were still trying to use that in any case they could, especially against Italian organized crime. Technology was becoming more and more advanced, and people were flipping left and right like they never had before, more so than ever before. So, is it Gotti that took down the mafia, or is it the rats, the technology, the unending supply of money from the government that they're willing to throw at it? And all those things. I mean, the commission case took place, right? And Castellano would have gone on trial and been part of that commission case if they hadn't killed him. So there was one boss left that they were going to have to get. So whether it would have been Gotti or anyone else, they would have went just as hard. Maybe they made it a little more personal because of how foolish he made them look every day of his life, basically as boss. But I'll never buy into that. Uh, Gotti ruined the mafia. A lot of things ruin the mafia. The FBI, the informants, the technology, all that stuff I mentioned a few minutes ago. And to an extent, did he help bring the Gambino family down with his flashiness and all that? Yeah, sure. But ruin the mafia? No. And for Sammy to say that is all the more ridiculous, right? It makes it even more because it's not just some guy saying John Gotti took down the mafia. It was Sammy saying it, which is laughable. Sammy is King Rat. When he did that shit, I mean, there's a reason he'll go down as one of the biggest rats in mafia history. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody took down the Gambino family, it was Sammy, not John. And started, the systematic dismantling of the American mafia. Yeah, Sammy was right up there with a few others. We already talked about it. There's Valachi. You got to think about Scarpa too, because Scarpa came before Valachi when he first started giving information. I believe the first information Scarpa gave to the feds, I think it was over some, hijacked trucks, stolen cigarettes. Um, I think the date was October 27th, ironically enough, because that's John Gotti's birthday, but 1961. I think Valachi was what, 1963? So Scarpa, Valachi, little people like Henry Hill, Phil Leonetti, Sammy the Bull, all these people, and how many to follow? Ralph Natali, Joe Massino, um, a lot of other high ranking people, plus lower level people. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that took place. Sammy has this like fucking undying, need to make John the big bad guy. And you know what? Fine. Did John talk a little too much? Certainly. He should have never been speaking about murders that took place ever. Once they're committed, that's it. You don't speak about them again. But I mean, you can't everything is John's fault. Everything. If you want to blame that on him, fine. Okay. And if Sammy wanted to just use that as an excuse, this is why I did it because John talked about me on those tapes. I was afraid I was gonna be the one to take the fall. Fine, you could say you were afraid of that, but that fucking argument about John wanted you to take the fall and told you you're gonna have to take the fall, that's played out and stupid. That nobody believes that, nobody ever will. So there's that bullshit. And plus, even if you were to go with that, what about the other 30 something guys, 35, 36, 37, whatever it was, guys, that you testified against and put away or were the reason for them going away? People that took pleas because you were going to testify against them, all that, all the people that you're responsible for going to jail. You're going to, I guess if you're going to blame it on something, fine, blame it on those tapes. Still doesn't make sense. But everything is John's fault. The mafia is ruined because of John. John talked too much on the tapes. I had to flip because of John. John was going to make me take the fall. John, John, John. I just want to hear him say, like, listen, I didn't want to go to prison for the rest of my fucking life, so I testified against everyone I could. But he blames everything on John Gotti, and he makes him out to be the big bad guy who is responsible for everything bad that took place. Doesn't take responsibility for his part in it at all. Well, if one person brought down the mob, it was Scarpa. He made all the big cases. He certainly made a lot. FBS and cousin Dom, much better interviewers. Thank you. Tom was nervous and seemed like he was starstruck. Well, I'm sure he was. That was like that's what Tom's been waiting for and building up to. So I'm sure he was. Tom is a horseshit interviewer with questions like, "So, Sammy, if you could hang out with anyone living or dead, who would it be?" When he said, "What would you tell 21-year-old Sammy?" I was like, "Yeah, check it out. Why not?" Bob Scarpa. What? If Sammy and DeChico took over without Gotti, I think it would have slowed the government down a little bit. And who knows? I mean, you could be totally right. I could be totally wrong. I think we could agree that it would probably have slowed it down a little bit, but not much. Like I said, they just had their huge victory with the commission case, and then this new boss emerges. They didn't get to get Castellano because John Gotti killed him. You know what I mean? So now John appears, and he's all over the media, which that pissed the FBI off too as well. But let's face it, they were taking pictures of every the media. No, they were on John more than anyone else, sure, but the FBI, they were on everybody. They were taking pictures of the Chin walking down the street in his fucking bathrobe. You know what I mean? They were on everyone. I didn't get to see the NBA Gravano interview. Came in at the end. I find it amazing how well Sammy hides that big fleshy tail so well behind that chair of his. You know what? I'm actually going to go back and look at it because I feel like I might have accidentally fast forwarded it or something. Was it not long? Because I felt like it was only like 30 minutes. The interview was dry, nothing new revealed, same ish, different day. Yeah. Whether you're a civilian or a convict, you knew who John J. Gotti was when you seen him because he was the real deal, the king of the concrete jungle. Certainly was. No one speaks of this, but if they don't kill Paul, he goes to jail. Who is the street boss? Tommy Bellotti? No way. He was a fucking driver, vicious, but a driver. Yeah. The Chin wasn't happy either, hence the Chico getting blown up. Course. And that's another thing. Like, you got to think, like, all the things that took place leading up to John becoming boss, and then after he became boss, a lot of stuff, like with the John Favara thing. That's when, the media really started to talk about John Gotti and stuff. With the Paul Castellano thing, it made it 1,000 times worse. But then things like, all the major murders out in public like Frankie DeChico, stuff like that. All eyes were on the Gambino family. A lot of crazy shit went on. So, you know, it wasn't just one event, or it wasn't just John and his flashy suits and his fucking hand painted ties. That's something like a mob novice who doesn't really know anything about the mob says, or in this case, someone who just hates John Gotti and always wants to look like the good guy who had every reason to rat on John, Sammy. You know what I mean? Wiretaps and big mouths brought them down. Absolutely. Amateur historian, they never run out of time or money. The feds are a machine. They don't run out of time or money. That's right. Do you think that a different boss could have at least slowed the government takedown? Well, yeah, like you said. I mean, even DeChico, and if it would have been DeChico and Sammy, I think it would have slowed them down a little bit. And there's other people, obviously, that could have taken the spot, but it wouldn't have slowed it down much. I don't think. Not much, like not enough that the Gambino family would have been still going strong in the late '90s, like it was in the late '80s. Um, oh my god! Wow, that's fantastic. I'm not going to mention the name of the person, but somebody just sent me a very, very generous cash app. Thank you so much, man. I won't say your name, but thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot, especially now. Thank you. That's great. I lost my train of thought. That's good news. So, um, yeah, I don't even remember where I was at, but it would have. Oh shit! Look at this. Lisa Farrow. Let me get to some comments and then I'll pull that up. But thank you in advance. I don't want to skip past all the comments. Yeah, yeah. I don't know exactly where I was at, but these different things, these. I think it would have slowed it down by a couple of years. I think 92, 93 might have been the big finale, I guess, for the Gambino family. But that's it. I don't think it would have gone much further than that. I could be totally wrong. I mean, what the hell do I know? Um, oh, I just got a Venmo too. Uh, thank you, Steven. Thank you very much. I don't know if you want me to say your whole name, but thank you for the Venmo. I appreciate that. Um, I guess I was wrong. This was worth doing this show. Um, Yeah, I think I don't know. Who am I? I'm nobody. I wasn't even part of the mob. I'm going off of everything we know that took place during the '80s, took place with Giuliani, took place with when they really effectively started using RICO, and everything that happened um, with Gotti prior to him becoming boss, and especially after he became boss. The whole thing was too public. The FBI was going to attack it no matter what. But, he might have sped it up a little bit. Castellano was going to prison 100% without a doubt. John DeLuca, yeah, rats, absolutely. And thanks for being here, John. Glad to see you. Gotti ruining the mafia, a bullshit narrative. Absolutely. Uh, nobody rats, nobody gets fucked. Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, that's why I say for Sammy to say it is like, what are you talking about? That's like a fire blaming something else for burning a house down. You know what I mean? Like, Sammy, you were the reason. If anybody was the reason, you were the fucking reason. Just man up and say that. Just say, I'm going to talk about something too. Guys, remind me in the chat in case I forget. But that reminds me. I want to talk a little bit about Mikey Scars D. Leonardo. Just a second. It's never one thing or reason. There were several reasons and factors that slowly contributed to the demise of it all. Definitely. The guy who testified against three bosses. Yeah, you ain't kidding, Boston Red. Sammy and Al Diarco really put the hammer down for sure. Gotti whacked Paul because of Ruggiano's it's Ruggiero. Uh, Angelo Ruggiero. You said Ruggiano. But yeah, sure. There's no doubt about that. That was definitely the driving factor. They had everything on tape. FBS. There's a book about Scarpa. I got. Remember the name of it. I have the ebook and I can send it to you. Yeah, I have it. I have it. I think. You go to my Audible. I didn't miss anybody's super chats, guys. Trust me, I appreciate them. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go down to through some comments first. Otherwise, I'll lose them all. Mm, can't believe I can't remember it off the top of my head. Uh, deal with the devil. Yeah, deal with the devil. Yeah, I have that in my Audible library. I might even have the paperback of that. Scarpa was 2 years before Valachi. Yes, he was 61 and 63. Genovese called for Appalachian. He gave the kiss of death to Valachi. He flipped. You asked me. Vito was the beginning of the demise. It was no longer a myth. There's a theory too, sure. Scarpa even told him Fat Tony was the front boss, but they didn't pursue it. But he put the feds onto the players in the Windows case. Yep. Um, people like to think Gotti. People like to think it was Gotti, like he was the first boss to get busted. What John did, Clipper boss become boss happened many times in the past. It was just the age of TV cameras, not him exactly. It's when it was really, really, really beneficial to media companies and all that to have this stuff, you know, plastered all over the news, and they turn these guys into celebrity gangsters, and it pisses the feds off more and more. Gotti ruined the mob. No, no, no. The mob's so called one of its own. I'm not sure what you meant. Common sense. Gravano was on the tapes in the same apartment. He was. Why didn't Sammy say, let's not talk up here? It might be bugged. He's a liar. Gravano took down 5 families, not Gotti. He's ridiculous. Yep. All right, let me skip down here. I don't mean to skip over anybody's comments, but Lisa Farrow, 1999, enjoy a cigar, FBS. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. Has my nightmare ended? Please tell me my nightmare has ended. Oh my god. I made $3 on a show last night. I never thought I'd see it happen. So thank you guys. And thank you for the super chat or for the Cash App and the Venmo. The guy who sent me the larger, well, both of you can, but the one who doesn't want his name mentioned, if you would like to email me or something, I'd like to thank you again. Natalie Christie, aka Tony's mom, Canadian 27.99. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I like the T-shirt, by the way. FBS, that's cool because according to many, you're suffering from no chat donations, especially from that owl. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I heard there was some stuff about it today. I don't care. Uh, listen, I had every reason to bitch. God damn it. Paul would have had Gadji or Bellotti kill Gotti and Ruggiero, whether or not he went to jail. Um, yeah, most likely, definitely. Yeah, they were done. I mean, they knew. Paul was going to have them killed one way or another. I'm not saying they didn't have to do what they did. I'm just saying that doing it was going to cause big trouble no matter what. Anybody who became boss and assumed that position after that murder was going to be in big fucking trouble. And plus, now they used the RICO effectively. The commission trial. They put bosses away. They weren't going to let him skate. It could very well be a valid point. They contribute Frank Lucas' downfall to his flamboyance at the 1971 Frazier versus Ali fight. He came through in the mink coat and hat. Yeah, it's a big mistake. And he didn't generally do shit like that, but he did it that night. Um, because I got into a big argument with one on Instagram, and it could have been a fake bald Italian. Wait a minute, what? Because I got into an argument with one on Instagram, and it couldn't have been you, fake bald Italian, right? Well, I'm fat bald Sicilian on there. Yeah, listen, there's only one fat bald Sicilian, and if you go on it, well, who knows? They might have stolen the stuff that I have posted. Whoever did a fake one, but no, I certainly wouldn't argue with you, Chad. I don't argue with anyone on there. And mine has just my thumbnails and a couple of my intros on there. Thumbnails from like interviews and shit. I don't really use Instagram. I'm gonna start though. Angelo Ruggiero ruined that Gotti factor. He was a problem, I guess. He was. There's no doubt. Those tapes, I mean, Johnny Catalano, it was actually karma that Sammy lost all his hair, teeth, fingernails, and looks like Gollum for having the government give him a facelift, plastic surgery before he destroyed all those lives in court. Maybe that's one way to look at it. That's for sure. Um, this can't be wrong. Oh, thank you. All donations welcome and appreciated. Cash App, Sheila 979. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Fat Bald Sicilian Mob to sound like a worn out record, but the New York FBI field office got bored after the collapse of the USSR. No better to test gadgets than on the Gambinos. Yeah, it was. Listen, it was like the worst time for all that stuff to happen. For the Castellano hit, Gotti's emergence as the boss, and all the with the technology, everything came along at the worst possible time for John Gotti. You know what I mean? Or everything was already going on when he took place. Like I said, you know what I mean? They were cracking down harder than ever. They had Rico. They just had all those victories in the fucking commission trial. Um, People were flipping more than ever. It was the TV age, like somebody said. It was just it was a horrible time to do it the way they did it. Oh, really? Uh, if you could send me the link to that podcast or something, Drito, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be good. I'm going to be having a guest on next week too. I think you'll enjoy. We're going to be talking nothing but mafia. 109 in the chat. Hit the like, guys. Yeah, 115 now. Please do that. Sammy's cooperation also led to more high-ranking wise guys flipping too, without a doubt. That's funny. Rudy Giuliani still thinks Fat Tony was the boss 40 years later after all the informants, witnesses, and info proved otherwise. Show how they will lie and continue to lie as needed. Well, prosecutors are known for that, right? You could fucking prove 1,000 times over that a guy, now in his case, I mean, I'm not saying he was innocent, but I'm saying in trials that we see that are overturned, DNA leads to the exoneration of people, and the fucking DA 100 years later will still be saying, nope, I had the right guy. They will never fucking admit that they fucked up. Ever. Never. It'll never happen. Uh Let me give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go let the dog in. I'll be right back. All right. Let's see. Without Rico, 95% of the rats would never have flipped, but a crime that use I don't know what the end of that is. But yeah, of course. I mean, it was a fucking nightmare for organized crime, Rico. And it still is. But especially then. Gotti did not destroy Abuela Montanez. Gotti did not destroy the mob, but he sped it up by a few years. Having everyone visit the Ravenite every week so the FBI could get pictures was not helpful. Yes, I will say that, and Sammy said that today too. I'm glad you said that, Abuela, because I wanted to bring that up. If he had a point at all about John doing damage, that was a bad idea. I don't know what John Gotti was thinking. I guess that was like I don't know, man. He wanted everybody to show up and kind of like kiss the ring, I guess. But to have all the captains and stuff showing up once a week, reporting to basically the headquarters of the Gambino family, knowing that it was under surveillance from every fucking angle under the sun, vans, apartments across the street. They had bugs in the telephone poles, so when they took walk and talks, they could catch their conversation. I mean, I remember my dad telling me about that when I was a kid. Crazy shit. So yeah, that Sammy could say that he can get away with it. That was that was crazy. It was a really bad idea. So yeah, that definitely would be one of the factors that sped up the downfall of the Gambino family for sure. Um, Thank you for dropping my Instagram, Carlos Muniz. Everybody, please go follow me on Instagram. Common sense. I'm not going to read that Frank Lucas comment. Uh, Chad Donovan, thank you, Chris. Yes, I got into a big argument. He has all of your pictures called you and Shanna. I knew it wasn't you. That's New Beginnings. New Beginnings has a page called Chris and Shanna or something. They fooled a couple of people with that page. I'm letting everybody know right now. I have one page. It's called Fat-Bald-Sicilian. All you'll find on it is thumbnails from interviews and a couple of intros. That's it. Exactly, Nicosia connection. Perfect words. It was the perfect storm. Absolutely, it was. Um, Everything that took place at the absolute worst possible time in mafia history. Yeah, it was the perfect storm. Um, my Facebook also. Yes, please request me on Facebook. If Chin could have stalled out for a couple of more months, he would have beat the case. Pizza Vino died like 4 months later, but R.I.P. Big guy. Yeah, yeah, but eventually, he had a hell of a run, a hell of a run. That was what Rudy did. He got government spies from the Cold War bugging social clubs. Don't know how they got away with that shit. I was pissed. So glad it wasn't you. I don't know how they get away with that shit. Yeah, I know. Who knows? Everybody report them as a fake page. That's all I could say. Don't make me say the word FBS. Come on, Gunner Anal. Just go ahead and say it. DP, she's like a journalist. I'll look it up. Yeah, I'd like to know about that. FBS, you wanted to talk about Mikey Scars. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to get into that. Let me just read a couple more comments. Karen S. I still love Sparks and NYC. I never cared what turf wars the mob has. I only care when they touch the general public, and sometimes they do. Whatever they do to each other, it's not my concern. Sparks, yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll get to Mikey Scars. I was listening to, for some reason, I don't know why, I decided to listen to the Trevor McDonald um, thing when I was at the gym today, the documentary, part one and part two. I fast forwarded past A Light because I can't stand him, as you know. Just the sound of his voice telling that fucking story about his son going inside to get the water pistol, and I took you on your first hit when you were 7 years old. He's such a disgraziad. Oh my God. Oh man. Every time I hear that story, I'm like, you are a fucking animal. But it's all for the kids, right? Okay. Um, but we talked about before how Mikey Scars is one of, there's a few out there without a doubt that kind of go into hiding and stay in hiding after they do what they do. Like I said on that documentary, the Trevor McDonald one, he's the only person that they have to meet in a secret location. That they say, they have to meet him in an undisclosed location. They don't say where he is. Now they do drive around with him around Little Italy. He sees you could tell who he's talking about. He's talking about James Froggy Galleone, of course, one of the Lucchese guys he sees sitting at a table in Little Italy, stuff like that. But the point is, though, he was in hiding. They had to meet him in an undisclosed location. And I always said, in a weird way, you kind of got to give him credit for that, because it at least shows that he's one of the few that has said, you know um, what I did, at least in his mind, he's got to be saying what I did was wrong. I'm not going to throw it in people's faces. Mikey Scars knows damn well that these days he could walk around fucking Bensonhurst and nothing's going to happen to him. He can walk around Little Italy and nothing's going to happen to him. He knows that. But so the only reason I say you kind of got to give him a little credit is because at least he just went away. You know what I mean? And he's not throwing it in people's faces and stuff. And um, he said today something else that I don't know if it caught my attention before. But he said that, he sleeps an hour or two a night. He can't sleep at night. He says, Trevor, I never sleep, an hour or two at most. And it wasn't so much because he's scared of somebody coming to get him. It was because of the guilt he has for all of his friends that he hurt. And by hurt, he means, with his testimony and stuff. He's responsible for a lot of people going away. I mean, he did a lot of fucking damage, Mikey Scars. So, I you know what I mean by give him credit. I mean, he's a fucking scumbag. You can't, I don't mean it like that. I just mean, there's certain guys that just kind of packed up and took off and you haven't heard from them since. And then there's certain guys that don't do that and they kind of thumb their nose at everybody. And he chose to do it the other way. And other than Jimmy, he's one of the only people I've heard say that he, truly has remorse for everything he did. You know what I mean? Now, whether or not that's true, who knows? But like I said, Mikey Scars could be on here. Mikey Scars was the only real mafiosa and gangster on that series. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he, as much of a clown as he is, Ralph Natali. I mean, I would say he's a real mafioso and gangster. But John A. Light, no, of course not. Ron Previty, guy was an ex-cop. Um, Definitely a brilliant con man, and I guess you could even say businessman. Mafioso and gangster, probably not so much. Um, what do you mean FBI said, Chris? What does that mean? I don't know what you mean. Pacello? As far as what? Being one of the most important, I don't know what you're talking about, but whether people believe it or not, I've said this before. One of the most important uh, rats of all time. How many fucking people he put away is astounding. And like Ali Boy Persico, when he got that gun charge on the boat, that was, I don't know how many people know it, but that was Chris Pacello. He brought that fucking cop he was hanging out with. He didn't know he was a cop. The guy was undercover. The guy that was like working security for him and shit in his clubs in Florida and became like his right hand man. He brought that guy on the fucking Alley Boy's boat, and Alley Boy had a rifle in the boat. No remorse for Sammy, and there shouldn't be. Mikey Scars was the fourth generation wise guy. His entire family was in the mafia all the way back in Italy. He tried to kill himself when he flipped. That's what guys in Italy, when they betrayed oath, killed themselves. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Oh yeah, Franzese. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was a puppet. Don't get me wrong, common sense. He was a puppet as far as he wasn't the real boss. Joey Molino was the real boss. He was Joey Molino's puppet. But I mean, he goes back with Angelo Bruno and everything. Ralph Natali was, he goes back. So FPS, what about the Lou Ferranti guy? He seems like a wannabe to me. Listen, I don't know for sure. I don't know if he was really reporting to Gotti himself, like he says. I find that hard to believe. I think he was an associate who was probably a tough guy and, a shooter and an earner. But I don't know how much of his story is true or how to really confirm it. As far as meeting directly with John Gotti, I don't really believe that. Right, at least Scars disappeared off the planet and his guilt of ruining people's lives are eating him away. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not many people say that shit. Scars stated he should have never cooperated. Yeah, you don't see it often, and that's why I was thinking about him today when I was listening to that. 'Cause of course, um, I've heard a lot of. I mean, I've heard that fucking documentary plenty of times, but it just happened to catch my attention today when he said about why he has trouble sleeping at night, whether or not or at night, whether or not that's true, who knows. But he seems like one of them that's more remorseful about what he did. You got guys like Gene Morello who come out here screaming, "I'm a rat, I'm a happy rat," and all that crazy shit. Like, uh, you know, Henry Hill was another one. He threw it in people's faces. He loved it. He went on Howard Stern. He went on talk shows. He went anywhere he could go. He showed up at strip clubs for grand openings, stuff like that. Threw it in people's faces. There's a lot of them that do that. But Mikey Scars, we can rightfully say, isn't one of them. Lou Ferranti was a guy who knew a guy. Yeah, he makes himself out to be way bigger than he was. There's no doubt about it. I remember hearing his story when he first started telling it. And I knew then because this isn't somebody we heard of. You know what I mean? He kind of came out of nowhere. But listen, it's the A-light factor. Anybody can come out and say, if there's something on record saying that at some point in time they were somehow associated with the mafia, especially the Gambino family, then they can make a whole career out of it. But it's weird though. Lou Ferranti just kind of disappeared. Just kind of disappeared. He hasn't been. He was on YouTube every fucking day doing a different thing, something at a church or some kind of show about gangs, whatever he was involved in, and then he just kind of went away. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Lou Ferranti. Could never find anything on that guy. Have no clue. Only guy I really have no idea about. Yeah, I don't know much about him either. I think he was a street guy. I think he was probably loosely connected to the Gambinos, maybe Junior or something like that. But he talks about he reported directly to John Gotti Sr. No way. Yeah. um, that was Natalie that told that story, right? Did Let's Get Mike take his channel down again? Oh, I hope not. Did he really? What are you saying? Is this true? Uh, Let me look at my subscriptions real quick. No fucking way. Why did he do it again? He promised us. Mikey, Mikey, Mikey. Son of a bitch. I was so happy to have you back. Uh, my grandson is on record with the Sabaro family. That is fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. The guy Lee had on the Couchy guy seems like another storyteller. Yeah, I don't know much about Couchy. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I guess he was a drug runner and stuff. We talked about that the other night, but I don't know anything about him. Never heard of him before. My Blue Heaven was a great movie. That part in the grocery store, sticker changing prices, forget about it. We used to price slash at the mall all the time before scanners came out. We made our one sales. Did you see Tony Trash Can's meltdown today? Because Tom had Sammy on. No, no, I didn't. FPS, they could say what they want. They missed that lifestyle. Look at how Scars walked around that party in the documentary. His chest was puffed out and he was feeling like himself. Oh, there's no doubt. Listen, there's no doubt in my mind that they all missed that life. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm just saying that, even if he's lying about feeling remorseful about being a rat, at least he just kind of went away. You know what I mean? We don't hear about him. We don't see him on all the fucking documentaries. We don't see him on, Fear City and every other fucking documentary that comes out. Actually, he could have been on Fear City. I don't think he was, but I never watched past the first episode because of A-Light. But you know what I mean? He's not everywhere you look. Like Franzese and A-Light flooded the fucking for years. Every documentary, there they were. We don't see Mikey Scars doing that. Ferranti was arrested for armored truck robberies and truck hijackings. He was. That's right. I remember him saying that. Um, yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, Ralph. Oh shit. If folks are going to lie about their history, at least tell a believable lie. Yeah, that's what I always say. I don't understand people that lie about shit that's so easily debunked. Like, why are you doing that? A few years ago, a serious heroin charge, minimum 10 years in. I'm not sure what that's about. Ralph Natali is the John A. Light of Philly. Natali said he got his finger pricked. Yeah, I know, I know. But I'm just saying. I mean, out of all of them, who do we got on that documentary? Franzese, A. Light, Ron Previty, Mikey Scars, and Ralph Natali. So obviously, Mikey Scars and Franzese are the two realest mafioso on there. But where do you go after that? I mean, I guess you could just say fuck the rest of them. But I would say Natali would have to be third, wouldn't you? Let's go, Mikey is friggin' hilarious. Yes, he is. Even though, most of what he says is bullshit, he has some history. Angel Gotti, Drito 5K. I heard you defended Alan Kaiser today. Thank you from his sister Joy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Angel. Good to see you here. That Lee interview with that couchy dude was so cringeworthy. I was waiting on him to interrupt with his typical "Let me talk" or "I'm going to mute you, dude." Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So I don't know. At least he isn't trying to make a career of it. Yep. Hi, Angela. Angel. You always bring so much cheer to the show when you join, Angel. I love it. FBS, let's get Mikey has been getting ripped in some of the chats. It's why he had the comments. His videos, YouTube world is crazy. I know, but he had to know that you know that comes along with being on here. I mean, it's the name of the fucking game, really. I'm surprised it bothered him. I think he probably wants to kill people. That's why it drives him crazy. You get used to it. UFBS check Instagram. There you go. Common sense. Yeah, I guess we could place him to show. Yeah, perfect way to put it. Yeah, we'll put him in third. We'll $2 to show. Uh, what am I checking? Uh, oh, bro, that's dope, man. The boss of bosses of MobTube. Yeah, bro, I can't wait for that, man. That's sick. Thank you so much, Dragon Reborn. Yeah, that's dope. Let me just see. I got an email I might have to answer. What is this? Oh, somebody just sent me yet another example of Angel Gotti standing up for me. Thank you, Angel. It's weird timing, right? Um, Angela, do people still watch Lee? Apparently, apparently. Lee said he is having that slime ball Sliwa on his show next. That guy's a fucking degenerate. Unreal. Is he really? What? Oh my god. Ugh. Is that another spit in the face of the Gotti family? Because that's all he's trying to do. Wow. Everything's got an agenda behind it. Wait a minute, let me see. I'm trying to understand certain comments. Oh, that's what Carlos meant. Wait a minute. Angela, they still do, but FBS has brought many together now. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be awesome, Dragon Reborn. I appreciate you doing that for me, man. Yeah, Paul Mastretta. Don't forget they wasted Mikey Scar's brother, and Mikey Scar says that's all part of this life. Wow. Yeah, he did. He was like, it's such a perfect soundbite, right? He's like, Trevor, this is the life. Angel Gotti, I think that's so funny having Sliwa on. Ha ha ha. Really? Yeah, that hey. Um Lee's a disgrace to the human race. I would love to do something for Angel Gotti. Yeah, you should. Lee said he's going to talk about the cab hit on his next show. He's a degenerate. See what I'm saying? That's all he's driven by. Who am I pissed off at, and who can I get to talk about them? Who can I use to try to like I said, spit in their face? There's nothing. Just put work into just doing a mob show or something. Like no, even the mob show has to be aimed at somebody. I never saw somebody so petty who gets a fucking like gets pissed off at somebody and then just makes like a fucking life, a whole life out of how to get back at the person. It's crazy at that age too. It's weird. Legenda 101. Yeah, it's a legenda. Curtis Sliwa is himself a bigger bullshitter than any mobster. Oh, absolutely. That guy's a fucking listen, he's fucking nuts. He makes stories up left and right. Always tries to put himself at the center of something, and especially anything related to the mob. Holy shit. Sliwa is such a good example of somebody who wishes that he at some point in time would have been a mobster. He loves to be able to attach the Gotti name to himself and everything. He's a fucking scumbag. I saw Slee at the feast this year when I was down there trying to shake everyone's hand. Guy's a proven liar. Shape Ali, him trying to join the government. I don't know what that means, but yes. Um, Joey Bay 8th got promoted tonight after his show. He is now stuttering gay 8th. Angel Gotti, thank you so much. Your parents really got your name right. You really are an angel. She is. Abuela Montanez, my grandson, is trying to sell jars of his farts, but has no takers. Exactly. Why else would he have Sliwa on? Does he want to ask him about the fucking guardian angels? Of course not. Uh, just the right wing politics of it all would be the other reason. Oh, I'm sure. Mustache Pete, of course. Sliwa was a mayoral candidate. No way he goes on there. Oh, he might. You can't look tough if you wear a beret. This is why Eric Adams won the NYC. Uh, may never get back to where it was before de Blasio. I'm surprised Sliwa hasn't faked another assassination for his campaign. You know, shit, right? The sympathy card. Paul Mastretta, $5. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate you. Um, if if Curtis Lewa comes on Lee Cole's show, the next thing he's going to be saying is that Angel tried to kill him. Lee could convince him of it. Lee featuring Curtis Sleeswa. Curtis Lewa, the lowlife who has stabbed himself to make the evening news. Shaking my head, he's despicable, complete lowlife. Yes, he is. I'll tell you, Chris, that bum is a dick, but when he goofs on Mac, is funny as hell. Oh yeah, I know, bro. I know it's great. I love it. And I got some information. Curtis Sliwa is the John A. Light of law enforcement. Angel Gotti, maybe he will ask about Sliwa's last claim that a cab hit him and he flew 7 feet in the air. New York Post showed he wasn't thrown a half a foot in the air. Really? I didn't know about that one. Wait a minute. Um, I don't want to. I don't want to say who. Yeah, I don't want to say who. But let's just say that somebody that we talked about during this show just got back to me about an interview. I didn't want to say it when we were talking about him, but I had reached out to this person for an interview and I just got a response. So, Sliwa bashes mob guys and then tries to sound like them in the same breath. Yeah, exactly. And he wants to be one. Let's face it. I remember when he was on that fucking whatever documentary it was, and he was like, "I'm in Staten Island. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting the maid guy." What a fucking corny thing to say. Highlights lives are like watching a show of Hollywood squares. K8th is a homosexual. What the fuck? Sleewer cried wolf multiple times. He lied and said he was attacked and never was. He is a joke. He is. Um, you got kicked out of any show for ripping. Joe apart for chewing. Next show, you should do all Slee was lies. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Detroit boss Chow Angel Gotti, very nice and effective video you did yesterday. Made your point perfectly with class while maintaining your dignity. Pretty hard thing to do, I might add. Pops is smiling down. Yeah, I'll give it to Angel too. Absolutely. I'm glad she made that video. And I'll tell you what. Um, well, you know what? I just want to know, how did the certain couple of members of We Push Back, how did they justify their friend doing an interview with King Rat? Just curious. Angel Gotti, yes, New York Post showed the video. I got to check that out. FBS, we need you to do the impression of the guy from Boston and that robot Bofa. Maybe I will towards the end. I don't know. I'm glad that we did a lot of mob talk in this show. That's what I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to come on and just talk some mob stuff, and come hang out with you guys for a little. So I'm very happy with this show so far. Johnny Catalano, Lee was going to teach Lee how to draw swastikas on some online site of his and call the authorities, saying he knows who did it. Yeah, I remember the swastikas thing. Mark Chopper Reed, salute. Hello, how you doing? Johnny Catalano. Sliwa was friends with Patty Testa and a handful of other guys when he was a younger guy. I wonder what happened, why he changed. Did the Gemini twins give him a wedgie or what? Yeah, I remember hearing him talk about playing stickball with them. Sliwa's wife looks like a hardcore. Oh, I'm not going to get into that. My grandson wants to be a mobster too, but I beat his skinny ass with a spoon, and he's pushing 40. Bofa talks like he's both of them in his mouth, like he has both of them in his mouth when he talks. I know. FPS. Listen, every time you drop the link, I come on. You bring me on just to mock me. Okay. All I want to do is ask you, FBS, why did you say I'm a chomo and a wife beater? I have never beat my wife. As a matter of fact, FBS, I don't even have one. Can't you tell by the way I talk? Women are not interested in me, FBS, and the slander that you've put forth is not helping. It's not helping me get women, FBS. It's not helping me do anything. He was from Canarsie. That is true, Curtis Sleazy. Yeah, he was from Canarsie, without a doubt. FBS listens to Fallout Boy. What? Where did that come from? No, I don't. I don't even know who that is. Fallout Boy. Funny impersonation. Thank you, thank you. FBS been there from the beginning, and you still got skills. Ridgewood, Queens guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Ridgewood, part of my youth for sure. That's where my Aunt Lucy lived. Tony Ducks. Not his wife. That's his victim. Yeah. Did you hear Lee say Rat Sammy called him personally and that Anthony Couchy looked at him like he was crazy? I'm done. He probably doesn't even know. He probably doesn't even know about the little rivalry between them. But it's so funny though, isn't it? Thank you, my Ricky Yoon experience. It's so funny that he hated Sammy all this time, right? I always said Lee will get in wherever he fits in. You know what I mean? It was a dream come true if he did speak to Sammy, and I wouldn't doubt that he did. Dream come true for him. All the Alan Kaiser stuff and all the other stuff he hated about Sammy, all out the window once he gets to speak to him. But is that a surprise? Like we didn't know that about him. Same thing happened with A-Light. Talked all kinds of shit about A-Light until he was able to get in touch with A-Light, and then he was starstruck, and now A-Light is everything Lee said he wasn't in Lee's eyes. You know what I mean? He talks him up like he's John Gotti himself. I talk to Sammy all the time. Dumber Alan Lindblom. Uh, because Lee does no research. Of course not. LOL. Bobby said he could sit down for dinner with Jackie G, the boss of Detroit, anytime he wants. Um, who said that? That fucking voice kills me, man. Hilarious. Lee has told everyone Sammy called him for the entire week. Dude is incredulous. Wow. Both are not. But oh, both. He said that. Shut up. He could sit down for dinner with Jackie. Listen, FBS. You have no idea how connected I am. Nobody believes Lee ever. Lee didn't speak to Sammy because Sammy was on the phone with my grandma. He paid 500 for a Sammy call too. I don't know if I believe the story of Sammy calling him. What business guy would he have contact? An old guy. Haha. Listen, if he was inquiring and shit, I'm sure Lee talked his way in there somehow. I don't deny that. I think it's once again a sign of what a fucking degenerate, hypocrite, lying fraud that he actually is. You know what I mean? Lee just wants to get to Angel, but Lee can't shine Angel's shoes. Of course not. Of course not. You can only dream of having the kind of respect Angel does. Uh, Lee wrote that article all by himself in order to start shit. Sorry, I lost. I read it from the corner and not from the screen. Start shit and hurt Tony and get attention, and it worked pretty well. I guess. Yeah, I guess because it got him in touch with Sammy, probably. He called Sammy Sir cringeworthy. Did he really? Both are boofed. I like. Oh God, Angel Gotti, $25. I'm making this donation in Grant Calder's name. Never tell me what to do. Well, thank you, Angel Gotti. But who are you speaking? Did Grant? Okay, Grant Calder hates my guts. So did he tell you not to come over here or be part of my show or my chat? I think I understand. But thank you very much for the $25, Angel. I appreciate that. Nicosia likes those bands that wear black eye makeup with white faces, kind of stuff. um, let's see. I think that, believe it or not, I think that's because Angel was always afraid to send me super chats because people used to say that I work for her. So she was afraid to even send a super chat because then, people could use that as ammo. But thank you very much, Angel. I appreciate it. Um, Another bot, huh? Angel, we got your back 100%. Yes, we do. Angel Gotti, Grant and Raymundi, you should have put. Oh, Grant and Raymundi. All right, yeah. I didn't understand the super chat at first, but now I get it. Yeah, Raymundi is another one. God, Angela, that was great. That was good. Thank you, Angel. Because I fucking hate Grant Calder. So thank you very much. That's another hating ass. I don't know. His whole life is about me. All he ever taught. Anytime I see him in any chat, FBS, FBS, FBS. Weird. Grant Calder literally has Lee's balls on his chin as we speak. Oh, is that who he's a fan of? Lee? That sounds about right. Pat Duffy, Mark Chaparite. Oh shit. I say, hey man, nice shot. All right. Sometimes I'm not in on the conversation. How do you donate, son? You could do it when you comment. There's a little dollar sign. You can click on that and send a super chat. Otherwise, I have my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo in the description of this show, and you could just do one of those. Bro, bro, it's insane. He's a massive Lee fan. It's insane. Yeah, it sounds about right. That's probably where I've seen him before. But I see him in all the chats. I've seen him in Angels. I've seen him in Vinny's. I've seen him in Lights. I've seen him everywhere. Nightmare 1503, chilling. How about you? Angel Gotti, only one man ever told me what to do, and he's gone. That's right, Angel. Thank you again. Terry Steve, that really backfired on you, didn't it, Grant Calder? I love Angel. Um, Terry Stevo, give us more impersonations of that simp. Bofa, maybe a little later. I don't know. Grant Calder is a fan of no one. He's just a supreme hater of FBS. Yeah, which would automatically generally make him a fan of anyone who hates me. 2.8 thousand of my grandson's subs are Ray Monday. That's Eyelight's grandmother, by the way. Calder was hating all over Big Lou in another chat. Of course he was. Grant Calder tries to dictate the chat. It's annoying as fuck. Diarrhea of the mouth. Grant Calder, a real degenerate. He is Eyelight fanboy. Enough said. There you go. FBNs, I'm convinced half the haters are I'm sorry, Callie G's sock accounts. Yeah, that sounds about right too. Eyelight is kind of a dimwit. Kind of. Oh my god. He's a fucking moron. Mark Chopper Reed, Ed Gunner, Anal Lindblom, the other half of Ray Mundy. Yeah. Speaking of the devil, Grand is in Eyelight's chat talking shit on everyone. Oh, right now? Let me go over and take a look. Uh, oh, yeah. I saw that title. I saw that title of that show, and I want to tell you guys something. This fucking pisses me off. This is no fake outrage. The title of his show is Slappin' Broads is an Italian tradition, as Italian as lasagna. Now, first of all, that would irritate me even if Eyelight was Italian, but he's not. So it pisses me off even more. And it should piss all of you off. It should piss off Italians. It should piss off women. It should piss off Italian men and women. Wait a minute, what? I want to get back to that, but hold on. Raymundi is lost. It's easy to catch. Okay, pretends. That's not the real Raymundi in those chats, though. What do you mean? He was told not to use capital letters and emojis in what chat? And by who? Oh, well, when you say the pig, I automatically think of Jody. I'm not sure. uh, Kelly G's, we know you're watching. Sup, bitch. What was disgusting, Angel? The highlights title? Oh man, I hope you're okay, bro. That's despicable. It is. Um, no, you shouldn't. Listen, guys. Call me a rat, call me whatever the fuck you want. That's the kind of shit that if we said something like that, if I said something like that about say Puerto Ricans, that'd be it. Bye bye FBS channel. You wouldn't see it ever again. How the fuck does he get away with that shit? And yeah, you should absolutely report him for it, without a doubt, because that would never work the other way around. Whatever the fuck he is, if I said that about his fucking race or nationality or whatever, oh my God, I'd be gone in 10 seconds flat. You wouldn't see me no more on YouTube. At the very least, that video would be taken down immediately. How the fuck is he getting away with that? Well, I guess because it doesn't matter what you say about Italians. That pisses me off. Oh, did he really? Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that we should make a necklace out of his next set of teeth that come in. Oh, common sense, you win. That's fucking beautiful. He did a show about Italians being superior to Irish, really ignorant shit. I'm not sure what you're saying yes to, Angel. I'm sorry, I was behind in the comments. Are you kidding me? Slapping broads? Yeah, that's the title of his show. Slapping broads is an Italian tradition, as Italian as lasagna. That's so fucking like beyond offensive and just fucked up for the simple fact that you know the fact that he can get away with it. But it's crazy. Now I want to see MRE, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me. I want to see how MRE responds to that shit. He didn't like a lot of shit that took place in the Many Saints of Newark, and he shouldn't have. He was absolutely right. But I want to see how he responds to that. This is a guy who he likes to bring on his show and support. And he's got a picture of Chris Moltisanti hitting Adriana as his thumbnail. Um, NWCP got his back. Shit's crazy. Happy birthday, Mrs. Gotti. What? Is it your mother's birthday, Angel? Yeah, you should, Tony Ducks. Everybody should. I laid as the Italian Rachel Dolezal. You're not kidding. I laid as the cringiest dude ever. How does that racist bum get away with his shit? Uh oh, Tony, you talking about? I don't know if you're talking about I. I'm sure MRE does not like that. I would certainly hope not, but he lets him get away with everything else. So let that, he should certainly respond to that. I'm saying it's fucking disgusting, and that's bullshit, bro. It's not a fucking Italian tradition. You're a fucking knucklehead. I never in my whole fucking family, and yes, my whole father's whole he's 100% Sicilian. Okay, my mother's side Naples, Napoletan. Okay, I never saw or heard of a man in my fucking family slapping a woman. My dad was violent as could be, fucked us up. Never put his hands on my mother, not once. Neither did any other man in my family put their hands on a woman. I never put my fucking hands on a woman. And I don't know. I grew up around nothing but Italians when I lived in New York, and then obviously my family. I never saw no shit like that. Okay, I'm not saying it didn't happen. There's Italian men that beat their women, absolutely, but that is not a traditional thing. That is not a part of Italian culture. That's crazy. If he even attempted to slap abroad with any self-respect, it would be that idiot's last. Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. Like I saw that earlier, and I was like, what the fuck? FBS, he was watching The Sopranos for the first couple minutes of his stream. MRE never wants to smoke. He blocks you or he runs. No, I don't know about that. He tries to avoid drama. That's fine, whatever. But I'm saying what's right is right. Okay. Now you have yet to call out highlight on anything. You know what? I don't care what he does. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that you can't say it's wrong coming from one source and not from the other. This dude isn't Italian. And even if he was, it's a fucked up thing to say. I would never make a statement like that. Highlight is basically admitting that he beats his girlfriends. Well, he's not Italian, but I'm quite sure he does. Oh, it's her birthday? Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Mrs. Gotti. Happy birthday, Mrs. Gotti. That's so cool. I didn't know that, Angel. You should have let me know. I'd have made a whole show about it, and I would have. I'm a big fan of your mom's. That is one strong woman, and I wish her the best on her birthday. Yeah, well, MRE calls him Paisan. I don't get it. He's not Italian. He's not Italian. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Go back and look at his old videos. He claims Puerto Rican. He never ever ever says I'm Italian. That's just for this. But I don't even want to get into that. No one in my family would ever hit a woman. That degenerate shit. That's a ridiculous statement. What a clown. Yeah. Ugh, what a jerk. Yeah. Amari won't support that. Racism and violence against women is little dick energy. Yeah. I haven't watched these videos in a while, but I can see I haven't missed much. Oh, shut the fuck up, dickhead. The whole fucking first probably 40 minutes of the show was about the mob. But do me a favor and unsubscribe. I hate you. Fuck off. Uh, a good way to react, right? Men who hate women or who hit women should be publicly castrated and hung. I agree. Uh, I'm genuinely tired of I like mocking us, and I'm gonna fuck up his chats as soon as possible. Let's face it, I light is too much of a bitch to get away with hitting a woman. He'd get his ass. Well, he's the fucking size of a woman, so and he's probably been slapped around all his life. MRE also said he has a Yam family. His words as an excuse to be racist or make racist. Yeah, I don't know. Highlight is a low life. Mustache Pete Highlight just tries to emulate everything he says in The Sopranos because that's all he knows about being Italian. Highlight is an idiot, yet the other side backs him. It's blatant hypocrisy. Um, love to bring light to the Gemini Club for a drink. Oh, love to bring highlight to the Gemini Club for a drink after hours. Ain't that right, Carlos? Word, that's not a tradition. Italian tradition would be the seven fishes on Christmas or something. Yeah, but he's saying like it runs rampant in Italian culture, like it's such a huge part of Italian culture that it's basically a given. That's crazy. That's bullshit. I already read that. Who knows? Who knows what he does? We all need to report that video. Everyone should, for real. Everyone should. Italians aren't the ones who hit their women. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Angel Gotti, MR, won't go after content creators. I bet my last dollar he won't go along with men slapping women. I don't think he will either. I'll give him that. Uh, Mark Chopper Reed, anyone seen Chopper's commercials about violence against women? It's enough to scare anyone straight. No. No, I'd like to, though. Hilarious, Chris. I'm not even sure what I said. Gravano was pushing that BS about your mom not being Italian in his last podcast, not trying to aggravate you or start anything, just making sure. What was he saying? Oh, I won't even get into it, but he was saying she's not Italian, Angel's mom. My grandson was a bitch in prison. I was so ashamed that he was passed around for Lucy's. No men in my family will not even curse in front of women. I think you meant to say not even curse in front of women or in front of a woman. Every race has people doing dumb shit. It's not a cultural thing to say. Yeah, of course, it's an individual thing. That's fucking crazy to say. Like Italians just do that. Come on, man. All right, guys. You know what? I've been on an hour and a half. I'm very happy with this show. I had a good time in the beginning. I want to thank everybody for the Venmo and super chats and the Cash Apps. Excellent. Um, thank God or whoever. I appreciate it very much from you guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here and taking part in the chat and the show itself. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow at some point. Everybody have a good night. And until next time, salute.